There are 7 habits so poisonous, so destructive, that they have ruined more men than poverty, more homes than famine, and more empires than war. They do not look dangerous at first. They disguise themselves as caution, as comfort, as reason. But once they take root, they strangle every seed of success in your life. Most men carry at least one of them right now. They think it is harmless. They think it is normal. They do not realize that this single habit is the chain around their neck, the reason their money slips away, the reason opportunity avoids them, the reason their families live under the shadow of constant fear. And because they never name it, they never kill it. Picture this clearly. You could work for decades, saving, laboring, sacrificing, yet if even one of these habits rules you, you will end as the multitude ends, broke, bitter, and forgotten. You will watch weaker men, younger men, less educated men rise above you simply because they cut away the habits you kept. And when that day comes, you will have no one to blame but yourself. Think of the cost. Another 10 years gone, and nothing to show but bills and excuses. Another chance wasted because hesitation whispered louder than courage. Another child watching you drift and learning to copy the same weakness. Another dream laid in the grave before it ever had breath. These 7 habits are not harmless. They are assassins, and their weapon is time. But if you will expose them, if you will face them and destroy them, the chains will fall. You will feel strength return. You will see doors open. You will know, perhaps for the first time, what it is to walk forward without dragging invisible weights behind you. I will not name them yet, because if I gave them to you in one sentence, you would laugh, shrug, and return to the same slow death. Instead, I will lead you into them, one by one, until you see for yourself how they have ruled you, and how you can kill them before they kill you. So listen carefully, for what you are about to hear may decide whether you live the rest of your life in chains or whether you break free into the destiny that was always meant to be yours. Habit 1, the most dangerous habit that destroys all wealth. Fear is the oldest enemy of man. It is subtle, it is cunning, it is destructive. It disguises itself as caution, prudence, or reason. But in truth, it strangles imagination, paralyzes decision, and chains a man to mediocrity. Fear is the seed of poverty. Fear is the assassin of fortune. Fear is the most dangerous habit that destroys all wealth. The man who fears poverty never escapes it. He clings to wages, trembling at risk, avoiding opportunity, and in his terror he attracts the very fate he dreads. The man who fears criticism hides his ambition, silences his vision, and lives in shadows. The man who fears loss, death, or rejection builds his life on sand, for his foundation is weakness. Jacob knew fear. When he fled from his brother, he trembled at night, bargaining with heaven. When he approached Esau, he feared slaughter. Yet the greatest moment of his life came when he faced fear in wrestling. He clung through the night, refusing to let go. At dawn, fear lost, faith won, and Jacob became Israel. Fear was slain by persistence in faith. Thomas Edison risked ridicule daily. He endured laughter, scorn, and failure. Fear could have silenced him, but he chose faith. He said, "I will not stop until light appears." He persisted through 10,000 failures, fearless before the laughter of the ignorant. Had he feared mockery, the world would still live in darkness. Henry Ford was told it was madness to put cars in the hands of common men. Bankers mocked, rivals scorned, neighbors laughed. Fear would have kept him farming small fields, but Ford chose faith. He imagined machines in every family, risked all, faced bankruptcy, and pressed on. His fearlessness reshaped the world. John D. Rockefeller was frail, mocked for obsession with oil. Fear of frailty could have made him servant all his days. But faith made him master. He treated oil as treasure, defied rivals, bore criticism, and built empire. Fear could have chained him to poverty. Faith lifted him to fortune. Abraham Lincoln walked through fear daily. He feared failure, ridicule, assassination. Yet his faith in unity was greater than fear. He spoke calm in storm, stood firm in war, bore ridicule, and never surrendered. Fear could have silenced him. Faith crowned him immortal. Fear whispers, "Wait, do not act, stay safe and men obey." They waste years waiting, hoping, trembling. Their opportunities pass. Their dreams die unborn. Their lives perish in mediocrity. Fear kills not by sword, but by delay. Fear's greatest weapon is paralysis. Faith whispers, "Act, speak, decide, persist." And men who obey faith rise. They leap while others wait. They build while others doubt. They persist while others faint. They seize destiny while others surrender. Faith is law, and law crowns the fearless. The devil confessed in Outwitting the Devil that fear is his greatest weapon. With fear of poverty, he enslaves. With fear of criticism, he silences. With fear of death, he paralyzes. With fear of failure, he binds. He boasts that fear keeps 98 out of every 100 men in chains. But hear me, fear is imagination corrupted. Faith is imagination purified. Both are unseen. Both are belief in what is not yet. The timid use imagination to see loss, defeat, ridicule. The bold use imagination to see wealth, triumph, honor. The law is the same, only the direction differs. Fear enslaves, faith liberates. Say aloud until fear flees, "I do not fear. I walk by faith. I rise above shadows. I command seas to part. I do not tremble before ridicule. I do not faint before delay. My faith is law. My faith bends reality. My faith crowns me master. Speak until your soul believes." Consider again Jacob. He was terrified before meeting Esau, but after wrestling, his limp was proof he had slain fear. He approached his brother not in trembling, but in faith. His wealth, his family, his destiny, all flowed after fear was defeated. The law is eternal. Destroy fear and wealth flows. Obey fear and wealth perishes. The crowd lives in fear. They say, "It is dangerous. It is foolish. It cannot be done." They call their fear prudence. They baptize their chains as wisdom. Yet they perish poor, forgotten, drifting. They teach their children the same fear, and the curse continues. Fear multiplies across generations until one man slays it. The master lives in faith. He says, "It is dangerous, but I will act. It is mocked, but I will build. It is unseen, but I will believe." He acts when others tremble, builds when others doubt, persists when others quit. Fear bows to him, and fortune crowns him. His faith breaks the curse for generations after. So I command you, identify fear, name it, and slay it. Do not excuse it as caution. Do not honor it as prudence. Expose it as thief, liar, assassin. Replace it with faith. Walk in faith daily. Speak faith. Act in faith. Refuse fear and wealth will obey. Obey fear and poverty will enslave. The choice is eternal. Habit 2, the habit that kills silently. Indecision is poverty's silent partner. It does not shout like fear nor appear violent like anger, but it strangles destiny slowly. A man who cannot decide is a man who drifts. He wastes decades in hesitation, standing at crossroads, never choosing. Indecision is the invisible assassin of opportunity, the thief of time, the seed of poverty. Jacob's early life showed this weakness. At Bethel, he bargained with God, promising to serve only if blessings came first. This was indecision, the voice of weakness. He wanted, yet he wavered. Only later, when he declared boldly, when he refused to let go, when he became Israel, did destiny obey him. His story proves that greatness comes only after decision. Andrew Carnegie decided with speed. He did not linger over opportunities. He chose swiftly, acted boldly, and then stuck to his course. His fortune was not luck, it was decisiveness. He taught that successful men make decisions quickly and change them slowly, while failures make decisions slowly and change them quickly. Indecision was never his master. Henry Ford decided that he would build cars for the multitude. His neighbors laughed, bankers mocked, rivals scoffed. But his decision was final. He did not drift from it. Through bankruptcy, ridicule, and failure, his course remained fixed. That decision gave birth to factories, roads filled with cars, and an empire that reshaped industry. Abraham Lincoln decided on unity at any cost. His life was filled with defeats and ridicule, but when war came, he did not hesitate. He declared the nation must stand. His decision endured ridicule, blood, assassination, but it crowned him savior of the Union. Had he wavered, the Republic would have perished. Decision preserved destiny. John D. Rockefeller decided that oil was treasure when others saw filth. He acted on that decision with ruthless certainty. Rivals laughed, critics mocked, but he did not falter. His decision to organize, to discipline, to expand, built empires. Frailty of body could not stop him, for his decision was iron. The drifter cannot decide. He says, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps next year. Perhaps when I'm ready, he hides cowardice behind delay. He buries destiny beneath hesitation. He spends decades in maybe and dies in never. Indecision wastes life more completely than failure. Failure teaches. Indecision kills without lesson. The master decides. He does not wait for perfect conditions. He chooses now. He acts now. He risks ridicule, accepts danger, embraces uncertainty. His decision becomes law to his subconscious, command to infinite intelligence, magnet to opportunity. He knows that delay is drift, and drift is death. Say aloud until hesitation flees, I decide swiftly. My choice is law. My decision commands destiny. I do not linger at crossroads. I do not tremble before options. I choose, I act, I persist. My decision is crown. My decision is command. My decision is wealth. Repeat until decisiveness becomes your nature. Jacob's destiny changed when he ceased bargaining. At Bethel, he was a wavering fugitive. At Jabbok, he became Israel, man of decision. He declared, I will not let go until blessed. That decision transformed him. His limp was scar of decision. His new name, crown of decisiveness. History remembered not Jacob the wavering, but Israel the decided. The devil whispers to indecisive men, wait a little longer. Do not risk yet. Gather more proof. Seek more signs, and men obey. They waste years waiting for perfect certainty, which never comes. The devil enslaves them with delay. He does not need to destroy them violently. He kills them softly with indecision. Consider Edison. He did not hesitate to risk ridicule. He decided that light would shine, and he labored as if it already existed. Had he waited for proof, he would have died unknown. Consider Ford. He decided cars would replace horses, and he acted when all evidence mocked him. Consider Carnegie. He decided to master steel, and steel obeyed him. Every immortal name was forged in decision. Every forgotten man was buried in indecision. The pattern is eternal. Destiny waits at the crossroads, but only the decisive sees it. The rest drift, delay, and die small. Decision is the dividing line between immortality and obscurity. So I command you, kill indecision. Stop bargaining, stop waiting, stop hesitating. Choose your chief aim. Write it, speak it, decide it. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for perfect time. Decide now, act now. Persist until destiny bows, for indecision is death and decision is life. Habit 3, the habit that keeps men small. Excuses are poverty's camouflage. They wear the mask of reason, of prudence, of fairness. But beneath the disguise, they are chains. A man who excuses himself for weakness will always remain weak. A man who excuses his poverty will never rise from it. Excuses may soothe for a moment, but they enslave for a lifetime. Jacob could have excused his setbacks under Laban. He could have said, I was cheated, so I will quit. I was deceived, so I will stop, but he refused. Instead of murmuring, he multiplied. Instead of excusing, he acted. His flocks increased, his household grew, and his name endured. Excuse would have chained him. Discipline set him free. Andrew Carnegie was born in poverty. He might have excused himself, saying, "I am poor, so wealth is impossible." He might have blamed his family's humble start, his lack of schooling, but he refused excuse. He said, "I will rise. I will study. I will work." That refusal built empire. Excuses would have buried him in obscurity. Thomas Edison was deaf. He might have excused himself, saying, "I cannot hear, so I cannot succeed." But his deafness became focus, sharpening his mind. He refused to blame fate. He turned disability into discipline, ridicule into resilience, failure into progress. His refusal to excuse himself crowned him inventor of light. John D. Rockefeller was frail in youth. He might have excused his weakness. He might have begged sympathy. Instead, he organized, calculated, disciplined. He turned frailty into foresight, restraint into empire. His rivals mocked, but he did not excuse. He rose because he refused excuse. Abraham Lincoln faced endless defeats. He might have excused himself after failed elections, failed businesses, lost love, but he did not. He pressed forward, each defeat fuel for persistence. Excuse would have left him forgotten. Refusal crowned him immortal. The drifter lives in excuses. He says, "I am too old. I am too young. I am too weak. I have no time. I have no help. I was born poor. I was unlucky." He builds a palace of excuses and makes it his tomb. He excuses himself from action, and life excuses him from greatness. The master refuses excuses. He says, "I will act though weak. I will rise though poor. I will build though mocked. I will persist though defeated. I will discipline though weary." He converts obstacles into steps, adversity into fuel, ridicule into proof. He refuses excuses, and life refuses to deny him. Say aloud until excuses vanish, "I refuse excuses. I act in spite of weakness. I rise in spite of poverty. I persist in spite of ridicule. I conquer in spite of defeat. Excuses are chains. I break them. Excuses are poison. I spit them out. I do not justify weakness. I justify victory. I refuse excuses." Jacob's story proves the law. Excuse would have left him wandering. Refusal multiplied him into Israel. His covenant with destiny began when his excuses ended. So it is with you. As long as you excuse yourself, you will perish. When you refuse excuses, you will rise. The devil delights in excuses. He whispers, "It is not your fault. You are unlucky. Others had advantages. You have none." And men believe him. They soothe themselves with excuses, never acting, never rising. But the devil trembles at men who say, "Yes, I was poor. Yes, I was mocked. Yes, I was cheated. But I will act anyway." That refusal defeats him. Excuses are easy. Action is hard. That is why the multitude excuses and perishes, while the few act and rise. Every empire was built by men who refused excuses. Every ruin was filled with men who excused themselves until death. The pattern is eternal. Refuse excuses or remain enslaved, so I command you, never excuse yourself again. Stop saying you are too young, too old, too weak, too poor. Stop blaming others. Stop justifying drift. Stop excusing failure. Rise, act, persist, excuse nothing. Build everything, for excuses are poison, and their antidote is action. Refuse excuses, and destiny will crown you. Habit 4, the devil's favorite net. Drifting is the devil's most subtle trap. It does not wound the body. It does not shout in violence. It lulls the mind to sleep. The drifter thinks he lives, but in truth he is dead already. His days pass, his years vanish, and he wakes at 60 to find he has achieved nothing. Drifting is not neutral. It is death disguised as comfort. In outwitting the devil, the enemy confessed that he enslaves 98 out of every 100 through drifting. A drifter is a man without definite purpose. He has no chief aim, no fixed plan, no burning desire. He wakes, works, eats, sleeps, repeats. He drifts in routine, drifting through decades. And when death comes, his life has left no mark. Jacob drifted when he wandered without purpose. He feared, he bargained, he delayed. He had wealth in seed, but not in harvest. Only when he fixed his purpose, only when he demanded blessing, only when he became Israel, did he break free from drifting. The desert of his life ended when definiteness began. Henry Ford did not drift. He fixed his purpose, cars for the multitude. He bent his mind to one aim. While others pursued scattered dreams, he remained definite. His definiteness burned through bankruptcy, ridicule, failure. His clear aim drew men, money, machines, and mastery to him. His refusal to drift crowned him. Andrew Carnegie chose steel and pursued it relentlessly. He was not distracted by small ventures, not lured by side roads. His definite aim forged empire. His focus multiplied his strength. Drifters mocked his obsession, but their lives ended in dust while his name endures. Thomas Edison did not drift. He devoted his life to invention. His workshop was ordered, his experiments logged, his aim fixed. He failed thousands of times, but each failure was progress toward light. He refused the drifting mind. His definiteness bent reality to his purpose. John D. Rockefeller did not drift. He saw oil's future and gave himself wholly to it. Rivals mocked, critics scorned, but his focus never wavered. While others scattered, he organized. While others wasted, he multiplied. His definiteness transformed weakness into empire. The drifter wastes talent. He begins one thing, abandons it, starts another, quits again. He reads, listens, studies, but never acts. He floats on currents of circumstance. Carried wherever the world pushes him, he says, I am waiting for opportunity. But opportunity never waits for him. He drifts into poverty. The master fixes aim. He says, this is my purpose. This is my destiny. This I will do. He writes it, speaks it, repeats it. He burns all bridges to drift. His definiteness becomes magnet to allies, proof to infinite intelligence, command to opportunity. He refuses to drift, and the world cannot deny him. Say aloud until drift dies in you, I fix my aim. I do not drift. I march with purpose. My destiny is certain. I burn all bridges to hesitation. I do not wander. I do not waste. My mind is fixed. My will is law. My purpose is definite. I am master, not drifter. I command fortune. Speak until definiteness engraves itself in your soul. Drifting wastes lives. Entire nations perish because their men drift. Families collapse because fathers drift. Fortunes vanish because owners drift. The devil enslaves the drifting multitude, mocking them as they sleepwalk through life. Only the few awaken, fix aim, and break free. Only the few write their chief aim and live by it. Jacob's nation wandered 40 years in the desert because they drifted without faith. Only when they fixed their vision on promise did they enter inheritance. Drifting delays destiny, wastes years, kills dreams. Definiteness opens doors, shortens wilderness, multiplies victory. So I command you, kill drift. Write your definite chief aim. Speak it aloud daily. Fix your purpose as law. Burn excuses, silence hesitation, end wandering. March forward with clarity. Refuse drift, and wealth will obey. Drift, and poverty will enslave. The choice is eternal. Habit 5, the habit that collapses fortune. A man who cannot govern himself cannot govern riches. Wealth is a stern master, and it will not stay with one who lacks discipline. Lack of discipline is the secret cause of poverty, ruin, wasted talent, and broken fortunes. It is the termite that eats silently at the foundation until the palace falls. Jacob under Laban learned discipline. He was cheated, deceived, delayed, yet he endured. For 20 years he labored, organizing flocks, sharpening skill, mastering patience. His discipline multiplied his wealth until envy of Laban's sons proved his mastery. Without discipline, his dream would have perished in chaos. Andrew Carnegie studied efficiency daily. He disciplined time, organized men, systematized labor. His empire was not accident. It was discipline. Without order, steel would have been wasted. With order, steel built cities. His fortune was discipline made visible. Thomas Edison cataloged thousands of experiments. He disciplined every test, every failure, every note. His genius was not chaos, but order. He transformed failure into steps because discipline ruled his mind. Without discipline, his imagination would have scattered. With discipline, it gave light to the world. John D. Rockefeller mastered ledgers. He accounted for every coin, every barrel, every exchange. He disciplined business with detail. Rivals mocked his obsession, but discipline built empire. Frailty of body could not stop him because strength of discipline commanded him. Henry Ford focused wholly on one aim. He refused distractions, silenced critics, cut waste. His factories were monuments of discipline, machines moving in harmony, men organized in order. Without discipline, his dream of cars for the multitude would have died. With discipline, it conquered. The drifter hates discipline. He loves comfort, excuses, indulgence. He wastes hours, speaks idly, spends recklessly. He refuses restraint and his life collapses. He blames fate, but his ruin is discipline neglected. Comfort is Pharaoh's chain, indulgence the devil's bribe. The master loves discipline. He commands thought, speech, action. He guards hours, restrains appetite, governs temper. He submits to law until law crowns him. His discipline becomes fortress of fortune. Wealth obeys him because he obeys himself. Say aloud until indulgence flees, I master myself. I command my tongue, my habits, my time. I discipline thought, I discipline word, I discipline deed. My law is order, my crown is discipline. I refuse waste, I refuse indulgence. I govern myself and riches obey me. Repeat until discipline becomes nature. Families collapse because fathers lack discipline. Businesses perish because owners lack discipline. Nations fall because leaders lack discipline. Lack of discipline is ruin multiplied. Discipline is wealth multiplied. The law is eternal. Discipline builds. Chaos destroys. Jacob's increase under Laban proves this. Cheated 10 times, he persisted in order. His flocks multiplied. His household grew. His secret was discipline. Without it, he would have drifted. With it, he became Israel. Discipline turned a deceived servant into a master of nations. So I command you, kill indulgence, kill excuses, kill waste. Rise early, work deliberately, govern yourself. Cut idle talk, restrain appetite, master habit. Submit to discipline until discipline crowns you. Without it, fortune collapses. With it, fortune multiplies. The choice is eternal. Habit 6, the habit of quitting. Too soon. Quitting is the grave of dreams. Most men do not fail because they lack talent, nor because fate is against them, but because they faint too soon. They surrender on the edge of victory. They lay down their tools 3 feet from gold. The habit of quitting too soon is the devil's favorite weapon, for it wastes labor and destroys faith. The story of R.U. Darby proves the law. He dug for gold, found a vein, pursued it, then lost it. Discouraged, he quit. He sold his equipment to a junk man who sought advice, dug 3 feet deeper, and struck millions. Darby lost not for lack of effort, but for quitting too soon. He later confessed that persistence was the true gold he had missed. Jacob refused to quit when wrestling through the night. His hip was out of joint, his strength broken, but his grip held. He said, I will not let go until blessed. That refusal crowned him Israel. His persistence turned defeat into transformation. Had he quit, his name would have perished. His grip immortalized him. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times. Each experiment mocked him. Critics laughed. Fortune seemed distant, but he refused to quit. He said, I have not failed. I have found ways that do not work. His persistence lit the world. If he had stopped at the 9,000th failure, we would still sit in darkness. Henry Ford endured bankruptcy. His ventures collapsed. His critics called him a fool, but he refused to quit. He rebuilt, refined, pressed forward. His persistence birthed factories, automobiles, empires. If he had quit after bankruptcy, his name would have vanished. His refusal preserved his destiny. Abraham Lincoln faced endless defeats. He lost elections, lost business, lost health, lost love. Yet he refused to quit. He rose each time, endured ridicule, pressed forward. His persistence crowned him savior of the Union. If he had quit, history would never have remembered him. His name endures because his persistence endured. The drifter quits at first defeat. He tries, fails, faints. He murmurs, blames fate, surrenders. He begins many things, finishes nothing. His life becomes graveyard of abandoned dreams. He dies with regrets, whispering, "I was so close." Quitting makes his labor wasted, his struggles fruitless, his years barren. The master persists. He refuses surrender. He marches through deserts, endures ridicule, withstands delay. He sees defeat as disguise of victory, failure as seed of success. He presses forward until the wall cracks, the door opens, the blessing falls. His persistence crowns him when others have perished. Say aloud until quitting dies, "I do not quit. I persist though mocked. I persist though weary. I persist though wounded. My persistence conquers all. Delay is not denial. Defeat is not final. I march until victory yields. I do not faint. I do not surrender. I persist until I succeed. Repeat until your soul refuses surrender." The devil rejoices when men quit. He whispers, "It is too hard. You have failed too often. Stop now," and men obey. They waste decades, surrender fortunes, bury dreams. The devil chains them with discouragement. But he trembles when a man says, "I will not quit. I will hold until dawn. I will wrestle until blessed that persistence defeats him." Jacob's limp was scar of persistence. His dawn was crown of refusal. His story proves that persistence transforms identity. From Jacob, the struggler, came Israel the master. Persistence was his ladder, his crown, his victory. So it will be with you. Persist until dawn, and destiny will rename you. So I command you, kill the habit of quitting, end surrender, refuse fainting, persist though weary, though mocked, though defeated, press forward until the wall cracks, grip until dawn, wrestle until blessed, persist until destiny crowns you. Quitting is death, persistence is life, the choice is eternal. Habit 7, the habit of small thinking. Most men die small, not because fate decreed it, but because their thoughts never rose above wages. They think in terms of survival, not abundance. They seek bread, not empires. They hope for security, not greatness. Small thinking is poverty's nest. It shrinks imagination, chains desire, and commands the subconscious to accept mediocrity as destiny. Jacob dreamed of a ladder reaching heaven. Though still in the wilderness, he saw visions of angels ascending and descending. That dream was no small thought. It lifted his mind beyond fear, beyond drift, beyond limits. His imagination announced, "You are more than fugitive. You are heir of covenant." His dream of greatness preceded his inheritance of greatness. Henry Ford thought beyond wagons. He said, "I will build cars for every family." Men laughed, saying, "Oh, horses are forever." But his vision was larger than their ridicule. His small farm background did not confine his thought. He imagined highways filled with machines, factories roaring with production, families freed from limits of distance. His large thought commanded reality to obey. Andrew Carnegie thought beyond wages. As a boy, he earned pennies as a telegraph clerk. He might have thought small. "I will remain a worker." Instead, he imagined mastery. He studied the powerful, memorized names, cultivated poise. He thought like a millionaire long before wealth appeared. His small earnings could not shrink his thought. His large thought summoned empire. Thomas Edison thought beyond candles. He imagined cities glowing with light, industry moving by electricity, the world transformed. Men called him delusional. They thought small. "We have candles, what need of more?" But Edison refused smallness. He persisted in large thought until reality bent to it. His vision conquered night itself. John D. Rockefeller thought beyond frailty. His body was weak, but his mind was vast. He imagined oil fueling nations. He saw empires where others saw filth. His vision was global while his rivals thought small. His large thinking multiplied his frail frame into monumental wealth. Small bodies may contain vast thoughts, and vast thoughts command fortune. The drifter thinks small. He says, "I only want enough to survive. I only want a little more than I have." He begs life for scraps, and life gives him scraps. He limits himself to wages, to small ambitions, to timid dreams. His small thinking enslaves him more than chains. The master thinks greatly. He says, "I will not ask for scraps. I will command abundance. I will demand riches. I will think as master, not as beggar." His imagination soars, his desire burns, his faith declares. He lives in large thought until large fortune manifests. Life yields to the size of his thought. Say aloud until smallness dies, "I think greatly. I see riches before they exist. My imagination commands abundance. I refuse small dreams. I refuse timid hopes. I live in large thought. I speak in large faith. I act in large purpose. I do not ask for scraps. I command banquet. My mind is vast, my destiny abundant." The devil enslaves men through small thinking. He whispers, "Be content with little. Do not dream greatly. Do not risk ridicule," and men obey. They shrink their minds, bury their dreams, settle for crumbs. The devil laughs at their timidity, but he trembles when a man says, "I will think as master. I will demand riches. I will imagine greatly," that thought destroys him. Jacob's dream of a ladder proves the law. His body lay on stone, but his mind climbed heaven. His vision crowned him heir. His thought expanded his destiny. So it is with you. Dream greatly. Think vastly. Imagine without limit, for wealth obeys large thought. Poverty chains small thought. So I command you, kill the habit of small thinking. Refuse crumbs, demand banquet. Refuse timid hopes, command vast destiny. Live in imagination until abundance obeys. Think greatly, and greatness will find you. Think small, and poverty will enslave you. The choice is eternal. Outro: how criticism reveals you are on the right path. Criticism is the tax life demands for greatness. Every man who rises must pay it. The timid believe criticism means they are wrong, but the wise know it means they are ahead. Mockery, envy, and slander are not signs of failure. They are proof of originality. If no one mocks you, it is because you are invisible. Criticism is the measure of your difference. Jacob endured envy from Laban's sons. His wealth multiplied, and their words became daggers. They whispered, accused, and ridiculed. Yet their envy was proof of his progress. Had his flocks not increased, they would not have spoken. Criticism was the shadow cast by his light. The more he grew, the more they mocked. His rise proved his difference. Thomas Edison was called a fool. Newspapers mocked him, rivals scorned him, scholars dismissed him, yet every insult was fuel. He did not perish under laughter. He thrived. The more the world ridiculed, the more he persisted. His lamp silenced his critics. His inventions mocked their mockery. Criticism was the fire that proved his originality. Henry Ford was ridiculed mercilessly. Bankers laughed, farmers mocked, mechanics sneered. They said cars for common men are madness. But their laughter was his prophecy. His factories roared, his machines filled roads, his name endured. The same tongues that mocked him later praised him. Criticism was proof of his vision. John D. Rockefeller was hated, despised, accused. His rivals slandered. His critics demonized him. Yet their envy testified to his empire. Small men are ignored, but giants are attacked. The venom against him was not weakness, but proof of strength. His critics multiplied his legend. Their words became bricks in his monument. Abraham Lincoln was slandered daily. Newspapers ridiculed his appearance. Rivals mocked his voice. Enemies scorned his policies. Yet he bore it. His faith was greater than their ridicule. He endured, persisted, prevailed. His critics died forgotten. His name endures immortal. Criticism was the furnace that refined him. The drifter trembles before criticism. He hides his dreams, silences his voice, surrenders his vision. He says, "I will not risk mockery. I will not endure laughter." He chooses comfort and perishes unknown. His fear of criticism becomes his grave. The master thrives on criticism. He says, "Your laughter proves I am different. Your ridicule proves I am ahead. Your envy proves I am climbing." He converts criticism into fuel. He feeds on mockery as strength. He wears slander as crown. His critics build his monument while believing they destroy him. Say aloud until criticism no longer wounds you, "Their doubt is my fuel. Their laughter is my sign. Their envy is my proof. Their ridicule is my fire. I march while they mock. I build while they slander. I persist while they perish. Their words cannot chain me. Their envy cannot stop me. Criticism is my crown. Criticism is my proof." The devil whispers, "Do not risk ridicule. Stay silent, stay hidden. Do not be mocked and men obey." They bury their dreams, hide their talents, live in shadows. They say, "I was safe." But safe is poverty. Safe is obscurity. Safe is slavery. The devil enslaves with fear of criticism. But when a man rises and says, "I will endure laughter. I will welcome mockery. I will bear envy," the devil trembles. For that man is unstoppable. He feeds on what enslaves others. He drinks fire and grows stronger. Criticism crowns him. He cannot be broken. Jacob walked into envy and prospered. Edison walked into ridicule and invented. Ford walked into mockery and conquered. Rockefeller walked into hatred and ruled. Lincoln walked into slander and saved. Every immortal walked through fire of criticism, and the fire refined them into gold. So I command you, welcome criticism. Do not fear it. Seek it. If no one mocks you, you are too small. If no one envies you, you are too safe. If no one ridicules you, you are invisible. Be proud of enemies. Rejoice in envy. Celebrate ridicule. It is the shadow that follows light. It is the sound of chains breaking. It is the crown of difference. Criticism will come when you decide. Criticism will come when you act. Criticism will come when you persist. Do not run. Do not hide. Bear it. Use it. Convert it. Criticism is proof that you are walking the narrow road of masters. The multitude laughs at the few who rise. Endure their laughter until they are forced to applaud. The greatest danger is not to live poor, nor even to die forgotten, but to live only for self. Wealth without covenant rots. Fortune without legacy perishes. Power without purpose collapses. The final crown of mastery is covenant, living so that your success outlives you, your vision endures, and your name commands generations after you are gone. Jacob's final wisdom was covenant. At the end of his days, he gathered his sons. He blessed them, spoke destiny over them, past inheritance, past vision, past faith. He did not hoard wealth, he multiplied it through legacy. His greatness was not flocks or lands. It was covenant, a destiny that outlived his body. Andrew Carnegie left libraries, schools, and institutions. His covenant was knowledge to millions. His fortune became seed for generations to learn. He could have hoarded wealth, but he chose covenant. His empire was not only steel, but minds awakened. His name endures because his wealth became covenant. John D. Rockefeller endowed universities, hospitals, foundations. His covenant was health, science, research, progress. His critics mocked, his rivals envied, but his covenant outlived both. His empire did not die with him. His covenant still multiplies. That is the final law. Wealth is not fortune until it becomes covenant. Thomas Edison left inventions that reshaped life. His lamp still burns, his phonograph still echoes, his motion pictures still inspire. His covenant was light for humanity. He could not carry riches to the grave, but his inventions became covenant. His name endures in every home touched by his genius. Henry Ford left industry transformed. His machines still run, his factories still stand, his methods still shape labor. His covenant was mobility for the masses, freedom for families, abundance for nations. His wealth was not hoarded, it became covenant of progress. That covenant outlives his body. Abraham Lincoln left freedom. His words still stir hearts. His decisions still guide nations. His covenant was unity, liberty, equality. He bore ridicule, war, assassination. Yet his covenant outlived his enemies. His greatness was not the office he held, but the covenant he left. The drifter lives only for self. He hoards, spends, indulges. His wealth dies with him. His name perishes. His legacy is dust. He thinks he is safe, but his life is wasted. His children inherit only weakness. His name is forgotten. His absence leaves no void. He dies as though he never lived. The master lives for covenant. He says, I will build not only for myself, but for generations. I will plant seed beyond my grave. I will leave light, liberty, knowledge, progress. His wealth becomes more than gold. It becomes vision. His legacy becomes covenant. His name commands even after death. Say aloud until covenant burns in you, I live beyond myself. I covenant with destiny. My wealth outlives me. My vision endures. My legacy commands generations. I am not a drifter. I am a master. I am not forgotten. I am immortal through covenant. My crown is legacy. My destiny is eternal. The devil whispers, live for self. Hoard, indulge. Forget others and men obey. They die rich but empty, powerful but forgotten, wealthy but meaningless. Their treasures rot, their names vanish, their graves are dust. The devil enslaves them with selfishness. But when a man says, I will live for covenant, the devil trembles, for that man cannot be killed. His body may perish, but his legacy multiplies. His name becomes immortal, his vision eternal. His wealth becomes seed for generations. He has defeated death itself through covenant. Jacob became Israel not by flocks or fortune, but by covenant. He left tribes, nations, inheritance. His crown was not his own life, but the lives that followed. His covenant was destiny multiplied. His story proves the law. Covenant is the final crown. So I command you, live for covenant. Write your chief aim, not only for yourself, but for those who will follow. Build wealth, yes, but build legacy greater than wealth. Refuse to die with empty hands. Pass vision, pass faith, pass discipline, pass persistence. Make your name a covenant. The crown of covenant is the summit of mastery. Without it, wealth is wasted. With it, even poverty becomes immortal. Covenant is the law that turns fortune into destiny, and destiny into eternity. Covenant is the crown that outlives time. So live not only for today, live for tomorrow, live for generations, live for covenant. Leave a legacy so vast that your name becomes law, your vision becomes inheritance, your wealth becomes eternal. This is the crown of covenant. This is the summit of success. This is the final wisdom of masters.
बड़ा गलत काम बहुत ही ज्यादा गलत काम जी ये देख देखो देखो जी देखो, ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे भाई, ये क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, ये क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, मिलो हमको भी मिलो, काफी मैच रख रही होंगे भाई जी, अच्छा तो ये सीन है, सीन तो ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ, ਮਸਲੇ ਮਸਲੇ असले असले, अच्छा हाँ, if you